Fan favorite drag queen, Alaska. Oh, I love me some Alaska. Alaska stormed the competition on all... Of course you're hard. Of course you're hard. Can I continue to talk about Alaska before you talk more about your heartage? All right. Okay. Go back. Alaska stormed the competition on All Stars 2, bagging 4 wins and eventually the crown. Her success made viewers assume she would be included in the first All Stars 7 last year, but she wasn't. Cast in the series and in a new interview with fellow Drag Race alum Maddy Morphosis, Alaska spoke about a potential Drag Race return, explaining why her podcast Race Chaser, which she hosts with season 4 contestant Willam, may prevent her from being involved in the show again. Has World of Wonder blacklisted the Queen of the North? Remember, winter is coming. Question number 6. I'd swallow that. I think Alaska will be blackballed by RuPaul's Drag Race because of her certain comments.
I don't know if she'll be blackballed because of that. I think that she could be blackballed because of a couple of reasons. Number one, the Race Chaser is really just talking a lot of junk about that entire world.
Is that what they talk about, Drag Race?
Oh, yeah. They talk about Drag Race. They talk to former contestants, and it's very open. Like, say what you want, say your piece, all that. So I do think that that does put her on the more, I mean, good Lord, we just talked about it. Like, RuPaul hasn't had a Florida girl in forever, right? Like, RuPaul's very sensitive. So, right, we know that. So I do think that's a problem. But also the fact is that Alaska has her own, like, competition now. Like, she does, like, Drag Queen of the Year competition in Los Angeles. So it's like, she's building up her own brand and reputation. Like, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. But I do think that that's something that the show puts into context.
Yeah, RuPaul is very sensitive about her shit. So she doesn't want to compete. You know, the thing is, if you're going to talk bad about my brand, and you have your own thing growing, how do I bring your stuff? Because I'm now gaslighting you versus my own. And so therefore, she's like being protective.
Like you ain't
but wouldn't you expect that from the competitor? I mean, no,
I totally
about, like, everybody at this table, think about what you have to go through to be on Drag Race. Fine, mind you, after you can leave the show, but then you're attached to them for 2 years. You can't talk any shit about them. You can't even put Drag Race after your name after a certain amount of time. There are so many little parts of the contract that you signed, right? But you get to say blah 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 from RuPaul's Drag Race, and that will be there forever, and you can make money off that forever. So
I will say I think Willam also had a moment with RuPaul, and it went. It was very.
I mean, it wasn't really a moment. Willam did break the rules by having sex with her husband. Like, like that was breaking the rules.
How was it a breaking the rule?
Because you weren't supposed to have nobody in your hotel room.
Oh, that I heard that.
Like I love that.
Like, she was also very vocal.
Like,
she
I love
also
Willam,
spoke back to RuPaul. Like, she's done a lot of things. But it's true. They are setting themselves up to not have the ties anymore, but they are still considering going back. Sources say from inside their friend group that they would be open to it, but only if certain things are made easier for them to access. They don't want to they don't want to be locked in a hotel room, and they're too old for this shit.
Well, and the thing is that Alaska at this point has paid their dues, and doesn't want to pay no more dues, right? And has an incredible fan base and says, okay, I don't want to do this shit. I'm not going to be locked into this shit.
I mean, cash rules everything. I mean, the right dollar amount, hell, I would kiss Trini for the right dollar amount. I mean, shit.
I will give you.
You would do it for free. Stop lying. Stop lying.
It's not immediate dollar.
But
I will tell you.
I have a nickel. I have a nickel.
I will tell you 4 cents.
But no, But the payout in the long run, to your point, is very, very true. The payout in the long run, because at the end of the day, you can now use that to propel you to the next level of where you need to be. And so I agree with you on that. So I agree. They're probably waiting for that right lawyer to come along and RuPaul,
I want to take the moment to the one RuPaul's Drag Race contestant, which I don't know why she's never been on again, who's been one of my favorites, is Dita Ritz. Does anybody know? I don't know. Absolutely. Dita Ritz. I follow Dita Ritz.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
She has never been asked to be on these All-Stars or anything like that.
Oh,
she's great. She gave one of the best lip syncs ever on RuPaul's Drag Race with This Will Be from
Natalie Cole.
But also,
no, she talks about how like nobody does.
But also, and that going back to her. Come on, y'all. Get back to some of the early seasons.
Dita Ritz,
like, we don't need season 12 and 13. Like, you have multiple seasons of girls.
And they will.
For real.
Look, I have a friend.
You have so many friends. We know.
Well, the only reason is because I don't want to get in trouble because they're under contract.
Fine.
There are people who didn't finish last. Like, they went out pretty early. And they were concerned with the rest of their career. And they're being, thought of. And they're given contracts, they're getting
waiting.
commercials,
They're
they're
getting sponsorship.
and
and
they
What I am
come
waiting
back
for right
for-
now, I am waiting for like the first out, like the pork chops drag race where everybody that went home first competes.
That would be a nice.
That is what I
But
want.
They kinda did something like that.
They did something similar like that. But I mean, if they
will,
went
man.
home first, that means that they sucked. Okay.
Yeah, they suck. It doesn't
But it's been
though.
10 years.
No,
you know what I
and
mean?
things happen. No, there was some of the first timers
Drag is
also. You were like,
elevated.
oh wow.
Like when you
like,
think about, and the reason
they came out.
And it's fantastic to see somebody from season 1 or 5 and then come back now, and you
Like, I
see how
love
they
it.
who came looking like a boy with a wig on,
And then
now they look
they look like a
Massive
gorgeous
shit.
woman.
Yeah.
They're a woman. Yeah.
Well, pick
All right,
your own
kids.
outfit or whatever. But yeah.